morning, students. Today we will discuss projection theorem, for which there is a lemma which is called orthogonality. It states that if we have X is any inner product space and Y is a complete subspace of this inner product space X, X is a fixed element in this inner product space, then we have to prove that Z, which is defined by X minus Y, this is orthogonal to the subspace Y, where Y is the unique element of the subspace Y, such that delta is the infimum of the distances of the element X from all the elements of the subspace Y, which we have already denoted by norm of X minus Y. This lemma is called orthogonality lemma. We are to prove Z is orthogonal to X minus Y. So in order to prove this, let us use contradiction method. So suppose the element Z, which is X minus Y, this is not orthogonal to the subspace Y. So if Z is not orthogonal to Y, so there will exist some element Y1 from Y such that the inner product of this element Z with Y1, that will be not equal to 0. Now let us denote this element which is inner product of Z with Y1 by beta, because inner product of Z with Y1, that is not equal to 0, therefore we must have beta not equal to 0. Now if Y1 is 0, then this inner product of Z with 0, that will be 0, therefore beta will be 0, but beta is not equal to 0. So it means if we will take Y1 is equal to 0, then we will get a contradiction. So therefore Y1 should be non-zero. So now let us take a scalar alpha from the field of scalars, which we have denoted by K, and let us consider Z minus alpha Y1 norm square. Now by definition, norm square means inner product of this element with itself. Now by using the properties of inner product, this product can be expanded. This is inner product of Z with Z minus alpha into inner product of Y1 with Z minus alpha conjugate into inner product of Z with Y1 plus alpha into alpha bar into inner product of Y1 with Y1. Now inner product of Z with Z, that is Z norm square, minus alpha bar into this we have denoted by beta, and these two terms we have combined by taking alpha common. Now let us take a symbol alpha bar such that the quantity which is inside the brackets, this will become 0. So in particular, let us choose alpha bar is equal to the ratio of the conjugate of beta with Y1 norm square. Beta is inner product of Z with Y1, so its conjugate will be inner product of Y1 with Z. So alpha bar we have taken inner product of Y1 with Z divided by Y1 norm square. Now let us put this value here in this expression. So if we put the value in this expression, the quantity which is in the brackets with alpha, that will become 0. So we will be left with Z minus alpha Y1 norm square is equal to Z norm square minus alpha bar into beta. Now substituting the value of alpha bar and beta here. Now Y1 into Z, inner product of Y1 with Z, that is a conjugate of inner product of Z with Y1. So Z into Z bar, Z mod square. So norm of Z minus alpha Y1 square, this will become Z norm square minus, this is beta, so beta mod square divided by Y1 norm square. Now substituting the value of Z, the value of Z is X minus Y. So this will become X minus Y norm square minus beta mod square divided by Y1 norm square. Now this quantity that is less than the square of norm of X minus Y. Now X minus Y norm, which we have already denoted by delta, so this will be delta square. So we have proved that norm of Z minus alpha Y1 square, that is less than alpha square. Now let us find Z minus alpha Y1 again. Now Z is X minus Y minus alpha Y1. So combining these two terms, we get X minus Y plus alpha Y1. This we have denoted by Y2. So this will become X minus Y2. Now y and y1 both are the elements of the subspace y. Because y is a subspace, therefore y plus alpha y1 that will again belong to the subspace y. Now taking norm on both sides, from here we get norm of z minus alpha y1 is equal to the norm of x minus y2. Now because delta is the infimum of all the distances which we take of all the elements of y from the element x. So by definition of infimum, this will be greater than or equal to delta. Therefore we have obtained the square of z minus alpha y1 norm is greater than or equal to delta square, but which is a contradiction to the equation 1. So it means our assumption is wrong. Therefore z is orthogonal to y. So this proves orthogonality lemma. Next is the definition. What is direct sum? Let us take a vector space X. Then we say that the vector space X is the direct sum of its subspaces Y and Z, which we can write in this way: X is equal to Y direct sum Z. If for every element of X we have a unique representation in the form of sum of the elements, one taken from the subspace Y and one taken from the subspace Z. So X is equal to Y plus Z. If this representation is unique, then we say that this X is the direct sum of the subspaces Y and Z. Here this Z is called algebraic complement of Y in X, or we can say that Y is the algebraic complement of Z. So Y and Z, they are called complementary pair of the subspaces in the vector space X. Next is the definition. What is orthogonal complement? Let us take a Hilbert space H and Y is a subspace of H. Then the orthogonal complement of Y is the set of all those vectors of H which are orthogonal to Y. So all those Z which are orthogonal to Y, they form the orthogonal complement of the subspace Y of the Hilbert space H. Next is important theorem, which is projection theorem. In order to prove the projection theorem, we will use two lemmas. One is orthogonality lemma and second is the minimizing vector theorem, which we have discussed already. So what is projection theorem? Let us take a Hilbert space H and Y is a closed subspace of H. Then we can write H as the direct sum of the closed subspace Y and its algebraic complement. Means H can be written as Y direct sum Z, where Z is the complement of Y. We are to prove this result. Now in order to prove this, we will use a result. Because H is Hilbert space and Y is the closed subspace of H, and we know that a subspace of Hilbert space is closed if and only if it is complete. So therefore here Y is closed, therefore Y is complete. Also Y is a subspace of Hilbert space H, and subspace of a vector space is always convex. So therefore Y is convex subset of H. So all the conditions of minimizing vector theorem are satisfied. We are having a complete subspace which is convex also. So we can use minimizing vector theorem. So according to that theorem, in our inner product space X, if we have a non-empty convex subset of X which is complete, then for given every X belonging to X, there exists a unique vector in that subspace such that delta is the infimum of the distances of all the elements of M from the element X, which we have already denoted by the norm of X minus Y. So we can use this result here for the subspace Y of the Hilbert space H. Using this result here, we get an element Y belonging to the subspace Y such that delta is the infimum of all the distances of all the elements of Y from X, which we have denoted by the norm of X minus Y. Also by orthogonality lemma, this X minus Y, which we have denoted by Z, that is orthogonal to the subspace Y. So from here, because X minus Y is Z, so we get X is equal to Y plus Z. So because this Y and Y, this representation is unique because Y and Z are unique here. So this representation X, we have written the element X is equal to Y plus Z. Y is unique. H is, we have represented the elements of H in the form of sum of elements of subspaces Y and Z. So H is equal to Y plus Z. Now we'll prove the uniqueness. In order to prove the uniqueness of the representation of this element X, let us take two representations of X. One representation we have taken Y plus Z, and another representation we have taken Y1 plus Z1. Here these elements are from Y and these two elements are from Z. Now from here, because these are the representations of one element X, so these two representations, they must be same. So Y plus Z is equal to Y1 plus Z1. From here, Y minus Y1 is equal to Z1 minus Z. Now Z1 and Z, they belongs to the subspace Z. So because Z is subspace, therefore Z1 minus Z, that will belong to Z. Z means Y complement. Because these two are same, so Y minus Y1 is also belonging to Y complement. This element will belong to the intersection also. So Y minus Y1 belongs to the intersection of Y and Y complement. But Y intersection Y complement, that is 0. So Y minus Y1 element will become 0. So this proves Y is equal to Y1. Because Y is equal to Y1, then because Y minus Y1 is equal to Z1 minus Z. So if Y is equal to Y1, then we get Z1 minus Z is equal to 0. So we get Z is equal to Z1. Thus we have proved that the two representations of the element X are same. It means the representation of every element of X is unique in the form of sum of elements of Y and Y complement. So this proves that H is equal to Y direct sum Z. So we have proved projection theorem.